Hello everyone and welcome to the Charlotte, North Carolina International Airport. Yes, the dreadful airport that recently was ranked the 6th busiest in the world. And I have just landed at gate C14 and I am about to embark on a walk all the way to B12. So from the end of Terminal C, I'm gonna be going to the end of Terminal B. So stay with me and follow me in this walk because I want to show you how easy this airport is to navigate. Because a lot of people have been complaining about how complicated and confusing this airport is. Whereas in my mind, this is one of my favorite airports to do a layover in because the way I imagine the shape of this airport, it's almost like a giant octopus where you have the head in the center and each tentacle it's a different terminal. So we're gonna start from the end of C, we're gonna go all the way to the end of B. It's one of the longest walks that there is in the Charlotte airport. I just want to point out, if you had to do the same walk in an airport like Houston, the IAH Houston, Texas airport, this walk would be completely endless. I've done it before and it's terrible. If you go from B to C or even from B to E, oh my goodness, you're gonna get your steps in and that's quite a good exercise. Whereas the Charlotte airport, thanks to its shape, all you have to do is walk to the base of the tentacle, which is the terminal, and you get to the head. And from there you can get into each terminal in the same time. You can see even in the sign here, essentially you can reach any terminal in the same exact time. Whether you go from C to B, or D to B, or D to A, whichever one you want, the airport is very much straightforward. You just get to the head and then you pick which of the tentacles you want to walk in. It's very simple, it's straightforward, there is not much to it, and you'll see it's rather quick. If you want an example of a really frustrating airport, try to go to the airport of Minneapolis, St. Paul, the MSP Twin City Airport. That one is shaped like a giant square. And oh my goodness, that airport, it's really a lot more complicated than just doing what we're doing here. We're just making an arch, getting to the head and down the other tentacle. Whereas into the Minneapolis airport, it's this giant square. And imagine if you have to go from, I don't know, let's say from E to A. Good luck with that. That's an amazing walk. It's endless. Let's say that you have to go from D all the way to G, another really long walk. Instead, here in Charlotte, all you do, you just get to the center of the terminal, and here is that I'm doing it. And personally, as a fairly frequent flyer that I am, I tend to prefer not to take the transportations. I rather walk the airport and actually enjoy the views of what I have to see and literally enjoy the airport. At the end of the story, there is a lot to see in these gigantic airports, and sometimes it's fun to do it. So here we are in the head of the octopus, if we want to call it this way, and from here you can branch out to any of the gates. Right behind me there is Terminal C that we just came out, and over there behind this thing there is D and E, and right in front of me you see B and A. We are literally walking inside the head of the imaginary octopus. And this shows how easy it is to go around an airport that is shaped like this. When I have to do the same walk in other airports, going from, let's stick with this one, C to B, like I'm doing right now. If you have to go from C to B in an airport like the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, that I've done it many times. That airport, it's got a very weird shape where sometimes it's actually quicker to walk than taking transportations to begin with, because the way it is shaped, it's in arches. It's all arches, and you have to go through each arch no matter what if you take the train. Whereas if you walk, you actually have the sky bridges. They're long and endless, But yet sometimes it is quicker to take that, like if you wanted to go from B to D, for instance. But here we are, we just began already the B terminal, so we are barely 5 minutes into the video, and we walked the whole terminal C, we walked through the head of the imaginary octopus, and now here we are beginning terminal B, and the walk is proceeding. We're not far, we're gonna be there in less than 10 minutes. If you had to do the same thing in an airport like Atlanta, the ATL, which is the busiest airport in the world, well, that one is shaped like a rake with like bars. So if you want to avoid the train, there is a really long tunnel underneath. It's very easy to get from a terminal to another, but it's a really long walk. It's pretty nice because they added a lot of cool things along the tunnel. There is a lot of exhibits, but at least it's pretty straightforward. Unlike the airport of Chicago O'Hare, which that one, I don't know what they were thinking when they shaped that airport, but it's all scrambled. Like, that is the most confusing airport to navigate that I've ever seen. If you try to walk from Terminal L to Terminal B, aside from getting your steps in, you're gonna be wondering if you're still in the same country by the time you get there. It's completely turned around and swirled. I don't know who was the architect that made the airport, but it became very much confusing. There is no linearity. Whereas in here, as you can see, you can already starting to see in the distance the gate that I have to walk to. It's B12. That's already almost the end of, let's say, tentacle B. That's why I really like going through the Charlotte Airport, because it's straight and I don't have to do the arches like in DFW or going around the whole square like at the Minneapolis airport, or walk miles and miles in the confusing shape of the Houston airport, or even the one in Chicago O'Hare. So here we are, we have arrived at gate B12, and let's take a quick look at the map. You see it right here. This is it. We made it all the way here. We walked from over there, we did all the arch and came down to B12, and we made it. This video, it's less than 8 minutes. Actually, it is 8 minutes right now. So it took me 8 minutes to just walk from terminal B to C. How about that?